Hey guys, welcome to our new episode of announcements. But wait, I'm sensing something in the air. Of course, it's our special guest, Drake DeWeer.
Hi guys, I'm back.
Anyway, I think for this episode of announcements, we should change our pace of scenery.
Isn't this a nice change of scenery? Anyway,
I love the snow.
So cold.
we have the Jazz on this Thursday, so make sure to check that out.
And cheers coming up. I don't know when, but it's coming.
Anyway, thanks for sticking with us this announcements, and make sure you stay warm. This
Merry
snow.
Christmas, guys. See you next year.
Real quick disclaimer, playing with knives is not cool. You should have a trusted adult, and if you are an adult, go to the proper place like a throwing range to do this activity. Be safe. Hello, today we're going to be talking about throwing knives, which is personally a hobby of mine. Throwing knives were modified from stones that our ancestors used for a hunt to our modern day throwing knives that we have now. Modern day throwing knives engineered for a perfect aerodynamics to fly through the air to hit a target. To show you how to use a throwing knife, I'm going to have to get a knife. There are 3 different ways to throw throwing knives, and conveniently, I've got 3 different throwing knives right here. The first and most common way to throw a throwing knife is to grab it by the tip of the knife and throw it like so. The second most popular way is to hold it by the back of the knife and throw it like so. The third most popular way, and by far the most dangerous way, is to throw it by spinning it around on your finger and then launching it like so. Be safe with knives, they're tools, not toys. When retrieving your knives, make sure there's nobody else throwing knives. Communicate with your group members, and if you're alone, make sure there's nobody sitting there watching you. Till next time.
Welcome to part 2 of this Rambler Htvs collaboration series. My name is Linhua Torres, and today we'll be covering a more in-depth look at the responses to the February 6th anti-ICE walkout. After the protest, I spoke with Mr. Chatterton, and here's what he had to say.
I'm here with Jeremy Chatterton, principal at Highland High School. Mr. Chatterton, can you tell us about whether you think it's important for schools to help students understand their First Amendment rights?
Yeah, I think it's our job as a school and as school employees to help students understand all of their rights, and definitely their First Amendment rights falls within that realm. We want to support students in exercising their rights any way we can.
Mm-hmm. And when students participate in a walkout, what do you hope they experience?
From a public school standpoint, I'm hoping the students understand the purpose for their walkout and what they're really upset about and protesting. With that, my responsibility is to do everything I can to make sure they're safe, following all the laws that we have to have in terms of what a walkout looks like.
Mm-hmm. And then what are your thoughts on school walkouts?
I think it's great that our students are exercising their First Amendment rights if it's something that they feel passionate about. We want to support that, and we want to support all of our students in expanding what they find important to them and getting involved civically and getting involved in an appropriate way in terms of what's happening in the community around them.
The evening of the walkout, the district released a message via email, Parent Student Square, and Instagram. The message expressed concern for student attendance and safety, suggesting that students speak out about issues in different ways than walking out. This message got quite a bit of attention from students, community members, and parents, with Instagram posts receiving more than 300 comments, many of which were from students who had been offended and upset by the message. One student commented, "If you truly cared about students, you would support their coming together to protest the killings and kidnappings of their classmates, family, and friends." Another student commented, "Can't feel safe at school when our friends and family are not safe. Maybe we can educate our adults who are voters to stop this madness." This post is the wrong message, and I'm so proud of my fellow students for their messages in the comment section. We spoke to Emily Sandoval, a student at Highland who has been personally affected by ICE, and here's what she had to say.
So you gave a really inspiring speech at the walkout. You had me and so many other people in complete tears. It was so inspiring, and I really admire the courage that it took to be up there and to tell your story. Really just inspiring. Can you tell me a little bit about what being able to give that speech meant to you and what that experience meant to you?
I think a lot of students just all over the world, or all over the country, experiment this sort of fear, and they know what's going on around us, but they don't know how close it actually is to us, which is why I spoke up. I know what it is to feel it, and I think speaking up helped me understand and know that I have support within this community, and I know that there's people out there who maybe they won't understand it completely, but they will be here to support me and know my story, that it will be important to them, even if they don't completely understand it.
I think it's very important that students have support at school, which brings me to my next subject. How do you feel the school should be supporting students at this time?
I think schools should make it known to their students that their students will not be targeted or looked for within their school. You know, I think school should be a safe space, especially for teenagers. I think sometimes maybe their home isn't a safe space, or being on the street isn't a safe space, especially right now. So I think school should be a safe space for a lot of these kids.
So you want Highland to be a place where students can go and feel welcomed and included and safe. And so the district recently came out, I think it was the night of the 6th, they came out with a response to the not only February 6th walkout, but the January 31st, I guess, protest. How did you feel about that message?
I think not only for me, I know it offended a lot of students, because in that same message they talked about like using the tools that they've given us to engage effectively in the community or something like that. And by doing these walkouts, we're engaging effectively using those tools that they've given us. We're speaking up. We've been taught a lot in history about protests, and maybe not riots, but you know what I mean. They've been the reason for change in the past, and I think us walking out can be a movement for change in the future for the better.
And so for you, it was really important that you were able to use your voice.
Yes.
And the tools education has given you to, I guess, effectively speak the message you want to be heard. Yeah. Protests like this are happening around the country, and with more plans, students will have more opportunities to speak out on issues that are meaningful to them. Thanks for listening. This is Lynn Torres signing out.